Welcome to the Inphamus Hour Live. I'm your host, the infamous Amadeuz. All social media platforms at the infamous Amadeuz. And of course, follow the official show called the Inphamus Hour. Officially powered by Boom That Nation, amongst other things. You can watch us here on your Facebook every single Thursday, 9 p.m. EST. And of course, shout out to my loyal listeners, SiriusXM, Shade 45, noon EST for the new hip-hop picks, and 3 p.m. EST for the throwbacks if you're into that type of thing. Okay. Today we're going to take a little break from the hip-hop conversation. We're going to have some real technology conversation. We're going to talk about new money, amongst other things. We're going to talk about how you can properly invest and get rich in this crypto space. And the gentleman that I have here with me today, he has a brand new NFT. It is out now. Hayes, welcome to the Inphamus Hour.
Hey, thanks for having me. Infamous, it's been a minute, like we just said.
Yeah.
Excited to see you.
Yeah, it's funny how life works, because we actually met on a flight, right? Yeah. I believe going to Miami. I was actually going to Drink Champs. For shout my guy Tragic Gaddafi, Noriega, and we had some amazing talk. We were talking about some of the technology things you were doing and marketing and stuff like that. But you do have a brand new NFT that's out right now. Let's talk about that. Teenage Mutant Ninja Apes. What's that about?
Yeah, so with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Apes, first of all, it brought me right back to my childhood. You know what I mean? Like, I was going to make this NFT, and it's just a design. That's just the design of the art. And it represents a use case, a membership, an exclusive membership to a society, just like belonging to a country club. Yeah. But we're DeFi and we're decentralized. So, we make our own membership, and it's becoming widely adopted. So, it hit me pretty hard with, like, you got the bored apes, you got these stoned apes, and you got to be a millionaire just to be in this society with them. Yeah. So I said, I'm going to put together the Teenage Mutant Ninja Apes. I'm going to appease to our age and give our age bracket a chance to invest and be a part of this secret society that's not so secret anymore. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's definitely expanded. Now, for the average person who does not know what an NFT is, right? And a bunch of memes pop up on the internet. NFT means not fucking tonight. Not this, not that. But for the average person, 9-to-5 person who's used to having a physical piece of art, for example, like on their wall, what is an actual NFT?
So an NFT, and I think a lot of people, they're not informed properly. It could be multiple things. It could be art. It could be a key to something in something virtual. An NFT. Everybody mostly understands the game Fortnite. If they don't play it, they got kids that play it. They know teenagers that play it, and they all get the skins. And they spend money on V-Bucks to get the skins. The skins, they're NFTs, a non-fungible token. So then you got something like the Bored Ape Yacht Club, who made a true art. They're like the Vincent Van Gogh of the NFT world. So that's true art, and that has value from just the art itself, because when you print an NFT, it's compiled in compressed layers of real art that was drawn at some point. Now, they drew theirs about 8-10 years ago. So you might as well call them the Vincent Van Goghs or the Michelangelos. So that's why their art is worth so much. And they added some use case to it and kept it a society. Non-fungible token is anything you want to use that has a value to it. You can put your name to it. So the airlines are starting to do it with their airline tickets. You already see Adidas and Prada jumping on board with it. Visa, MasterCard. NFTs are going to be used in everything from construction and design. A designer has to put together a rendering for a 3D model of a new building. They're going to use NFTs for that. They got these big digital signs that are going to be on the sides of the walls. They're going to use NFTs for that. An NFT is anything. It's a non-fungible token. It's the token meaning the value, and it's not fungible, So I decided to make this with a use case. It's an access key and some art that had some real appealing traits to it, I should say, because this Teenage Mutant Ninja Apes is sitting high with could be sitting up around 11 or 12 traits, which is a lot of traits for an NFT, which means it can be very, very unique. It can't be replicated. It can't be done. There's metadata, and we'll get into that, all kinds of crazy stuff, which is the blockchain. But there's a public ledger of all this, so it's all something that's the future. Maybe not for us. We might not be the billionaires off of it, but anything we invest in right now in the crypto NFT space, our grandchildren will definitely be millionaires off of it. They'll be billionaires, trillionaires, whatever the case may be. It's inevitable that we're moving in this direction.
Yeah. I had some very interesting conversation with some of the people that were responding to me promoting this NFT, particularly on radio and social media, because I posted the picture on my Instagram. So they're like, well, what makes the picture different from the actual NFT? Like, I'm taking a picture of it and I'm posting it and I'm spreading it through. So what exactly is the difference for someone that's interested in purchasing this?
Yeah. So that NFT, you take that picture, even a screenshot from a phone could be a picture, right? Well, there's a digital fingerprint in everything we do on the internet. It's called metadata. And with what's different about those is that there's actually that's only one character. And all those different ways it looks, that's all different layers that were hand drawn separately. Maybe 1,000 times. It might have been drawn 1,000 times. It might have been drawn 2 times, which makes it more unique. So if anything from an earring to something in their mouth, they had the shell, they have a cape, like there's all different types. Once that's drawn and the metadata is made, there's a value put to it. That can't be changed, So when that's done, we put it into an auto randomized generator. We call it a minting engine. And it randomly generates every body part and every trait and every attribute and accessory on that picture, and it compresses it. And when it compresses it, it comes up with a code, which we use as called the blockchain. It gives it a value and an ID, a private ID that cannot be replicated. So that token can be extremely rare. And if it ends up with something like 12 or 13 traits on it, each with a value of, I'll use fiat numbers for now, each with a value of, say, $1,000 per piece of art that's all compiled together, times 13. Now that's a $13,000 piece of artwork. That's no different than walking into an art gallery. These actually come with a use case as well. The use case being the concierge service that it comes with, which is phenomenal. It comes with a lot of giveaways, and there's much more to do with it because of the metaverse. And the metaverse is really what we're all going to be stuck in, whether we like it or not.
Yeah. It's very interesting that you bring up the metaverse, right? Because we recently saw Facebook, probably one of the biggest corporations in probably the history of business, right? At this point, like, it's a huge corporation, actually switch its name to Meta. And again, this show is kind of watched by people who are kind of 9-to-5 consumers, they work. So what exactly is the metaverse, right? People watch this and they're like, what is that? Is it like the game Sims where like you can build a house and, what exactly is the metaverse? More importantly, what value would someone have who's living in the real world to kind of jump into the digital universe?
You know what? And I'm like a DeFi till I die type person. And when they told me about the metaverse, I still didn't understand it until I really understood it. And I can break it down pretty easy now. The metaverse is a virtual blueprint of the world, a literal virtual, like, lot and block coordinates and everything. And what's happening with this metaverse is it's going to be just a virtual world. So, if you walk into McDonald's in the metaverse, you're walking into McDonald's in real life too, and we pay with our phone as it is, with Apple Pay, with Zelle, with, Cash App. So now, you have your non-fungible token that gets you in any door you want, or whatever the case may be. And you have this digital currency, and you're going to buy your cheeseburger from McDonald's, and your avatar is going to sit down at McDonald's and eat it with you. And people would say, why would I want that? But it's going to simplify life an awful lot. There's not going to be a line no more. You're going to order as you're walking in. It'll be ready when you get there. And that's just like an example, a quick example. factually, instead of example, there's people that are buying up places in Manhattan, lots and blocks for $1 million because they know that store that is already on that lot and block is not going anywhere anytime soon. So it's going to work the same way where you're going to pay rent in the metaverse too. You know what I mean? So you're going to wind up paying rent in the metaverse, and you're going to benefit by jumping into the system at an early age, because it's going to, just like the world and history repeat itself. You know, at one point it was a sliver of silver or gold. Now it's just a piece of paper. I mean, and even when I was a kid, it still said one silver, you know, like $1 was equal to one note of silver. So like this is inevitable, and it's just the technology and the forwardness of how quick we're moving with it. Jump way ahead of McDonald's. Let's just talk about like some of the biggest the towers in Manhattan or Las Vegas, the casinos. They're all doing virtual gambling now, virtual shopping. I walk into the malls now, and I can't get what I can get on their store online. Like I can't go try it on anymore, which is kind of annoying. But the truth of the matter is, I can get whatever I want just from sitting on my couch now. Lazy, yes, but the future, yes. Yep. It is what it is. So that's what the metaverse is, a virtual blueprint of the world. And what we did is we went a little bit off the cuff, and we went after the sewers, because what the Teenage Mutant Ninja Apes are going to do is do a comic book weekly. And their weekly comic book is going to actually be the news. It's going to be based as the news in the metaverse, and how they're going to get through the entire metaverse in one day and deliver the news is because they have access through the sewers. They can cut right through. So we're going to own the sewers of the metaverse. We have a few celebs on board right now. I'm calling for any more. If they grew up in a city, they want to own that area. There's going to be royalties, and there's going, just like I said, there's going to be rent to be paid. They're going to own the news in the metaverse. There's going to be, just like the news articles, the newspaper gets delivered. There's going to be coupons. There's going to be advertisements. It's our future is what it is. Just like everyone got stuck on Facebook, they're stuck on Meta now, and it's just going to be that quick when it happens.
Yeah, this is the new future. To watch right now, this is the Inphamus Hour. I'm your host, the Inphamus Amadeuz. We are scanning the chat for questions actively. Hayes is here. He has a brand new NFT that we were having some interesting conversation about blockchain technology, right? So I've kind of been informed about blockchain, and I guess the best way I can describe it, like we were talking about off camera, to the people that are watching right now, essentially, if I send you a Cash App, for example, right? And then you basically go deposit in your account. It takes a certain amount of days because the US dollar is, correct me if I'm saying it wrong or right, the US dollar is converted into a crypto, which is then transferred through blockchain technology to your bank or to whoever's going to receive it, peer-to-peer technology, right? Is that a fair assessment?
That's a fair assessment, but that's just one use that it can do. So that's what the blockchain can do. What else it does, it's a digital signature, and the blockchain itself. Now, here's the thing, and it's decentralized, and that's the biggest part and the biggest root to this whole thing is that it's decentralized, and why that's such a benefit to us, right? So no longer does that time you're talking about that we wait for the Fed or wait for some regulatory middleman that taxes us anyway to take it. Tell us when this money clears. And the blockchain is smart enough to tell user A and B if the money is actually even available to be switched. So that, just as far as security goes, blockchain has it hands down, has the web beat. It's called Web 3 now. Second part about it is the monopoly on the web. You know how the politicians can use the web for their own social engineering, for how people can market their products. I can't even make a phone call to a friend, talk about a product that I might be interested in buying without seeing it on Facebook 10 minutes later with an advertisement. So what the blockchain is endless space. It's free internet space. They can't charge us no more. They can't tell us you got to pay an extra $1 a month for your phone gigabyte because your cloud's too full. All that goes away. All these big monopoly electronic medical records type, for instance. You know what it costs to own a medical facility? It could be in the upwards of $300,000 a month for your storage fees, just for your storing your files, because they have to pay Google and all these other people. Well, in Web3, the blockchain, every time another block is minted, it's just another space in the internet, another committed, node, we call them. And I don't have to get into the science of it, but it's another connection. It's another ally, and it just grows. So it's an infinite space. The blockchain has infinite space, is what it is, and we're going to start cutting. It's going to cut costs down for the world.
So would it be fair to say that investing in crypto in general is like investing into the digital token that it takes for me to send money from a Chase account to a Bank of America account? So when I send my money from my Bank of America account, that physical US dollar is converted into a token or crypto and then sent over to another bank. And then whenever they feel like the money came from outer space, they say your money's cleared in my account. So is this what crypto technology is? Are we investing into that transition token?
Absolutely. It's knowing which and when to where to invest and which is actually going to be part of the future. Unfortunately, everyone can't be part of it. As far as the winners in that space, we've all played Monopoly in life, and somebody wins. So, but the thing is I like to always say really pretty simple is like, you got Bitcoin as your savings account, right? And that's something that you're not spending. You don't spend that's the money. That's your investment, right? Because that's been built. That was the originators. They're the seed. And then you got these other off-chain things. Ethereum is the number one running that's in the industry that the lead,
next to Bitcoin.
Yeah, they're the leading industry, and they're the one that does the apps and the movement of money that you're speaking of. And what they do is they can break it down into minor micro crypto, just like Wall Street has penny stock. We could have micro crypto, where you can break your money down and spend it at even smaller amounts and smaller and pay less fees. And then when you time to send it, it comes back like that as a normal stable coin like Ethereum. So it's just, it breaks it down and brings it back for you. It does all the work for you. It's in our code. We use something called safe math. The computer does the math for us. It's our future. And they want to know something else? When you get your Cash App and you're waiting for it to clear, I get my transfer of my Ethereum. Not only does it clear, it's in my bank account and spendable within 35 seconds or 40 seconds.
Wow, round of applause for that. Okay. So for the average person who's watching this right now, right? Because obviously we've kind of established that we have like a really like core fan base of 9-to-5 working people. Sure. And certain people are scared. They look at crypto, they look at NFTs. They're like, well, I have a physical dollar. Like, this is my physical dollar, my Hennessy cup. Why? Round of applause for Hennessy, okay, for holding it down.
Yo, some screwball.
Hey, there it is. So why would I go and take my physical dollar and invest it into this cryptocurrency when it's not regulated, right? When
inflation.
Inflation. There you go.
Yes, sir. Because, like I said, when I was a child, it still said on the bottom of that dollar bill that it was one silver note. The dollar used to be attached to silver. Warren Buffett, silver. You know what I mean? The richest people in the world, silver and gold. Bitcoin, Ethereum, silver and gold. So this is something that, unfortunately, the way it happened was through some bad transactions, honestly. Bitcoin was made on blood, sweat, and tears, just like the silver that was mined however many hundreds of years ago. Same way. It was made on some blood, sweat, and tears, but the money's real. It was done at a value that had nothing to do with silver or gold or anything the government inflated. It was a real value. A guy said, this is worth $10. Do you want to take it for $10? And another guy said, yes. And it built itself up. So the money is actual really money. They can't inflate or deflate it on us. You know what I mean? It's your value. It's your money. You take it when you want it. You take it at the rate, and it follows the markets. You can tell there's the up and down days, just like, but that inflation, when that goes away, history repeats itself. Now, I've been fortunate enough to live through, over 40 years. I've seen every 10 years history repeat itself. I've watched this world go into two depressions already. They can't do that to crypto. They can't do it to DeFi because they can't control or just print more money and devalue your property, your single dollar bill or that cup of Hennessy. Like they can't just tell you what that value is anymore. Right now, it's costs $5 a gallon in gas because they inflated the dollar. Yeah. You know, not because of some pipeline hack. Let's be real.
Yeah. No, and everything in the supermarket, all the goods that we purchase are definitely inflated. Now, when you look at the crypto market, so I watched a few guys in the pandemic that I knew that took money, from wherever they was getting it from and invested to this crypto, and because of inflation, they were kind of able to cash out. I kind of decided to jump in a little later. I decided because I thought it was going to be a good idea to invest in Crow, which is
you're good. Don't worry.
Yeah, so I invested into Crow because I saw that they were going to buy the Staples Center, right? So and then they had the Grammys there, and it's massive marketing into just crypto.com. Yeah. The fact that they even own crypto.com is almost like the Google internet back in the day where you would purchase domains. So they actually purchased the domain for the entire structure of what we're talking about. So I was like, let me just invest in this. But looking at the market from the outside in, what do you think is the next coin that may pop? And will there ever be somebody that'll pass Bitcoin?
Nobody can pass Bitcoin, and there's a reason for it, because they can keep inflating the money, but there's still only going to be so much money in the world. Bitcoin stays true to its value. So they can manipulate, try, there's been guys as big as Cuban and Elon, and I'm telling you, they can't control it. This is something that's not controllable by just one person and not one governing body, and now they pushed a little bit back with the government pushed back. So, the people of DeFi and the crypto world, they had an answer waiting for them, and they just started organizing central, we call them a DAO, a governing token that actually holds the value to branches of its sisters and siblings and brothers. So the pushback is not going to really do them any good. The Bitcoin is always going to stay true to its buck, to its dollar, where just like silver and gold does. So that's where the future is going to be. It's going to lie in something that you can actually physically hold, because that physical dollar that we hold isn't really worth a dollar. Yeah. People I invest in other banks in other countries. To be dead honest with you, I get a higher interest rate because they laugh at our dollar.
Yeah, it's actually a joke at this point. Once again, you're watching the Inphamus Hour. I'm your host, the Inphamus Amadeuz. Hayes is here. He has a brand new NFT, Teenage Mutant Ninja Apes. Is available right now on the Discord's account. I actually have a very rare Teenage Mutant Ninja Ape, so it's a blue one. So I'm hoping that it'll lead to some green later on, long term. So
yeah, there's actually 120 of them, Dave.
Oh, 120. So it's very limited. Now, for our fans, this is a very hip hop fan base. Obviously, I work in the hip hop space, Sirius XM, obviously doing my podcast, videos, yada, yada. And they're watching a lot of their celebrities invest and talk about NFTs specifically, right? So Snoop Dogg, obviously we were talking about, he did the Bored Ape. He actually has his own NFT, which is a collaboration of Death Row Records with Bad Boy. Styles P just came out with a digital sneaker, right? So long term, where does the NFT go? Does the NFT replace actual art, like long term, or?
Nope, it doesn't replace art. NFTs are going to start replacing keys and access. So that's what Teenage Mutant Ninja Apes really is. It's something that, that we can reflect on and find really interesting to look at. We can hang it on our wall with a digital frame. But what most importantly is the concierge service. The concierge service comes with a true package. It's a 24-hour notice. You log into the site. There's the affiliated partners are all listed, and if they're not listed, most likely we can get in touch with them. I've been fortunate enough in this world to come across people like yourself and many others that I've gotten the contacts and made the associations enough to this concierge service that already is going on in places like Manhattan, New York, Las Vegas, Miami, major cities, Dubai, all over the world, Tokyo. It's concierge service that that only 1,000 people can have. And what that is, within 24 hours, your service will be handled and rendered. So that what that means looks like if you want to go to the club and you want that VIP table and it costs $3,500, that first $3,500 is covered. Not only is it covered, you're getting that table because you got this NFT. Now, if you want these sports tickets, and it's almost impossible to get them unless you spend $10,000 a ticket. But you got this NFT that's this access to the secret society, just like the Freemasons did however many 100 years ago. It's going to be the same type of secret society. So those tickets are going to be available. Right now, not the Bored Apes, not at the Stone Apes, let me just go back to exactly who it is. The professional sports leagues are going to start printing their season passes and their tickets on the blockchain. Everyone's going to have their own similar blockchain. It'll be the same exact design throughout. And now no longer are the Philadelphia Phillies or the New York Yankees going to have to pay Ticketmaster royalties to sell their own tickets, to sell their own merchandise.
They're going direct to consumer.
Right to consumer. Yeah, exactly. We're cutting the middleman out. There's no reason for this inflation to be taken care of no more.
Yeah. So when you say like the keys, right? Because you mentioned like a lot of different things. So by basically purchasing an NFT in general, you essentially would have access to shit that you wouldn't have access to.
No, exactly.
If you didn't purchase it.
Exactly. You know what the biggest question I get, and I love it and I hate it because my phone goes off all day long, is teach me the crypto, teach me, because they see, and I'm guilty of flexing once in a while, of posting a chart that, in about maybe 45 minutes, I took my money and multiplied it by 100. So people are always asking me to teach them. And the greatest thing about it is that, like, they got, if they were to learn and listen, they can do the same exact thing. This crypto and this NFT, it can really bring financial freedom to a lot of people, man.
Yeah,
it could really free people up. You look at Crypto Messiah. His nickname is One Goon Rich. This is a goon. He's a goon that put $100 on something for fun. I mean, he's me, just in another part of the country.
Yeah,
he's a goon by nature. He put $100 on something for fun, and he's a millionaire. You know what I mean? So, it's financial freedom is what it's about too.
Yeah. To put some of your work back into the real world, we were on the flight. You actually had introduced me to the guy that was in Bronx Tale. What's his actual name? Is Lilo
Brancato.
Lilo Brancato. Yeah. For those that don't know, I mean, Bronx Tale is an amazing movie. What is it like working with him? Because obviously, the people here have all seen Bronx Tale. Like, it's a huge movie, and I know he had some troubles. Obviously, I know he went to jail. He had some troubles. So first of all, how is he doing, and what is it like working with him?
Listen, it's like working with an everyday person. Lilo's turned around and put his life and his passion into helping people and movies and stuff second. He gets offers every day.
Yeah.
And he's a humble guy. He brings joy to people. There's been so many times I've had opportunities to like help people out because they've either related or found out that we were friends. Just the other day, I was sitting at a place and I was doing some work on my computer, and someone asked me a question, and somehow it got to Lilo Brancato, right? Mm-hmm. And I was like, wow, that's funny you brought that up. That's one of my best friends and employees as well. Mm-hmm. And he made a video for this guy's little sister, mm-hmm. saying, congratulations on your first job, being said she's like 17 or mm-hmm. something. And I asked him how it went when I sent him the video, because he addressed her directly. Lilo's not that guy that's really worried about, charging people or signing. And he's like, she was in tears, Casey. She was in tears, So, it was amazing the fact that knowing somebody like him, and there's other people out there, and I don't like to be the guy to endorse anybody, So I let them do it themselves. But I have those types of connections that are going to get us that concierge service that we're talking about.
Yeah.
The red carpet. We're going to get the red carpet treatment for 1,000 people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it ain't going to be the first line that we put out.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to you for making connections in the real world. This is the Infamous Hour. I'm your host, the Infamous Amadeuz. We are live right now, BoomBapNation.com Facebook page. Shout out to the millions of people that are watching and tapping in that will see this video later on. So to end this off, right?
Yeah.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Apes is out right now.
It is out.
Where can people get this at? And just, talk to the people. Like, what? Sell it. Like, why should they cop the NFT? Why should they go and invest into this?
All right, so I'm going to tell you that I took a different approach than I usually. I've done a lot of DeFi projects that will remain unknown, unnamed, and unsaid. Wow. But why they should get this one is there's going to be a bidding war for this soon. Mm-hmm. And so I was talking to people in Nigeria, in Australia, in third world countries. It's $100 to buy this NFT. Mm-hmm. That's unheard of. NFTs are usually, even if they're $100 to buy them, they're $2,000 to mint them. It's called to actually receive it, to get to receive it in your virtual wallet. Mm-hmm. I reduced the gas down so that doesn't happen. It's $29 to pick it up or have it delivered, I should say, mm-hmm. and it's $100 to make it to have this randomized compressed file sent to you that has a value to it. That over time, even in 10 years, if nothing happens in 10 years, this thing will be worth 50 to 100 times its value. It's inevitable. It can't stop. It doesn't have. It's going to rise with the economy. So these traits all have a value to them. It's been written into them when the art was made. The use case has a value to it. It's about $100,000 to buy that membership on that concierge service. That's what someone in Manhattan would be paying for this service. That's per year. So it's inevitable to spend $100, you throw it in your wallet, your digital wallet, and you come back and look at it in 5 or 10 years, and that's automatically going to have multiplied. If you want to be an aggressive trader, you just wait for the hype to come out because everyone's going to be grabbing them soon. There's only 1,000 of them. Yeah. And there's billions of people in the world. It's going to be a bidding war, and you can throw yours in the mix and make your money that way. You name your price. I tell everybody as much as possible, everybody has a price. So when they ask me for advice, I tell them when it hits your number, you sell it. If you want to be a collector and you want to have generational wealth, that's what I'm doing it for. I'm doing it for my son. I'm doing it for his son, and it's generational. I know that these NFTs that I've purchased in my life, I spent $100, $300 on them. I spent $1,000 on them. It's just going to multiply. It's just like, the inflation that the world did, but it's going to actually be real for once.
Yeah. In the digital space. So I have an NFT, obviously, right? So I have one of these Teenage Mutant Ninja Apes. So yes. Hopefully some people will actually cop. So what do you actually get when you actually get this NFT? Like, what are some of the things that come with it besides actually owning the art?
So you get the access to, well, first of all, we're going to have an access to celebrities and other A-list type public figures, I should say. Having access to them alone could be priceless to some people's eyes.
Of course.
They get the art, and you get it in your wallet. It's called a digital wallet. And you had told me to sell it. So highapes.co. We don't use .coms because we're in a Web3 zone. We're in that future already.
Well, what is Web3? Not to cut you off. Well, what is that exactly?
Web3 is it's a free flow of internet. It's where it's advertisement free. It's free of selling your information. It's it's disconnected. The government, nobody centralizes it. It's us within us. It's literally the 90s coming back, bro. It's for us, by us. It's so we handle these things called nodes, which is just another fancy word for a type of computer that connects around the world to help all of us have this anonymity and free space from giving our information out to the government and any other marketing agencies that are buying our phone number and calling our phone in the middle of the night to wake us up. That's what Web3 is.
So but you still would need like Wi-Fi connection, obviously, to get to it, right?
You would need Wi-Fi connection, and that's all you need is Wi-Fi connection because it's all done through Wi-Fi, basically. And it's using this internet that's infinite space. That's what it's using. So, I've been to a couple third world countries where they control the internet still. That's a matter of time until some of like myself or me and a few other friends maybe get together on it. All we have to do is post a few nodes up around the Bahamas, and they ain't paying for internet no more. So that's why that's the other reason. It's a great reason to invest in DeFi and in decentralized products that you believe in and that are legitimate. Especially this right here, what was going on. This is almost unheard of. Most people don't show their face in this world because they're too much afraid of who invented this, with the conspiracies and all in the world. I'm not, I'm in my 40s. I told you I'm doing this for generational. I'm doing this for my kids. I'm doing this for the people in the Bahamas that have to pay every day. They have to buy a card to use the internet, because it's locked. No one can lock the internet on us no more. The Web3, you can go, all you do is you download a virtual wallet. It has a browser bar in it. You can go on Google if you want, or you can just type in a web address that's free on somebody's computer. It's it's freedom. It's finally our own financial freedom is available to us.
Yeah,
and you're going to need some kind of NFTs and some crypto to get that.
Welcome to the World Wide Web, Web3. Hayes here on the Inphamus Hour. So once again, what is the website if they want to check out this new NFT, Teenage Mutant Ninja Apes, which is super dope? Ninja Turtles is one of my favorite of all time. I mean, of course, when I was a kid watching it, still following the movies. Hopefully they'll make a new Ninja Turtle movie. So if someone wants to tap into this NFT, where can they go and how can they get it?
Okay, yeah. So I want to leave you with the fact that just like those Fortnite skins, these Teenage Mutant Ninja Apes will be usable in video games. They'll be usable in the new Street Fighter that's going to come out soon. They're going to be usable in in stuff like Fortnite and other places. You'll be able to, if you own this NFT, it's called an NFTX. It's a skin that you can wear on your own. You can wear that out to the Metaverse if you want. You want to walk around in the Metaverse as a Ninja Turtle? It's good for you. So where they can get them, they can go to @teenapes at Twitter. They can go to highapes.com. It stands for High Ape Society, and it's HIAPES.co. HIAPES.co, and you can mint one. It's $100. You need to get a virtual wallet. I suggest MetaMask, and or Coinbase. And you log in through there, highapes.co. If you have a problem and you go to the Twitter @teenapes, you'll find a link to a Discord where we have a community and the family members of probably about 1,500 to 3,000 people that will answer any question people have about this stuff. They'll inform them properly. It's done through Discord to protect everybody, to protect everybody's anonymity, plus their own financial information. It's hosted over my own personal server that's protected with every type of cybersecurity you could imagine. And, we'll inform them properly and teach them how to buy it.
All right, round of applause for you. Teenage Mutant Ninja Apes is out right now. Of course, I'm the Inphamus Amadeuz. Make sure you listen to me, Sirius XM Shade 45, every single Thursday, noon EST and 9 a.m. PT, Pacific time or Pacific time. If you want to hear the new hip-hop classics, and 3 p.m. EST for the throwbacks. So next time, stay safe, stay COVID-19 free, and make sure you invest in some crypto and get that new Teenage Mutant Ninja Ape available right now. See you then.